Good morning. So it is about, I don't know, let's see here. 4:52. I don't know if you guys could see that. 4:52, and I am headed to the mountains to go on a wildflower hike at Mayflower Gulch. It's early, but hopefully I can make it there and start at sunrise. I wanted to be getting to a certain point at sunrise, but you know what? 4:50 is early. So here we go. All right, I made it to the trailhead and it is a nice cool morning, but wow, it's so beautiful back here. Look at this. Such a beautiful morning. Yeah, 45 degrees, so it's a little bit chilly, but it won't be too bad. I'm excited to get started. I'm gonna put on a sweatshirt and get this show on the road. Here we go. I'm so excited. So this is actually my second time doing the Mayflower Gulch hike, and I feel really lucky because I got a parking spot, because I got there nice and early. The parking lot is fairly large, so you're not going to have too much trouble unless you come at a prime hiking time, which I kind of perceive as being around 7 to 9 a.m. The Mayflower Gulch trailhead is located off of Highway 91. It's between Copper Mountain and Leadville. I use Google Maps because I'm pretty directionally challenged, and luckily for me, it worked out perfectly. The first mile or so of the hike is shaded in the trees. You're going to come across some rockier parts, but the terrain is really not too difficult, especially in July. You're not going to come across any snowpack, or at least you shouldn't, and I did not this year. You're also going to come across a lot of rocky sections, so make sure you're wearing the proper shoes because I would not want you to turn an ankle. Even in the first mile of the hike, I came across so many beautiful wildflowers, columbines, and these other little yellow flowers, which I don't know what they were, but they were super, super pretty. This hike actually starts at about 11,000 feet in elevation, so you're gonna wanna be prepared for that, especially if you're from out of town and you're not used to the altitude. One of my favorite parts of this hike is the fact that you're going to come across some really, really cool old mining cabins and mining ruins from I don't even know when, but they're just kind of randomly placed throughout the hike. They make for some really, really cool photos, really awesome video. Just be careful when you're around them, when you're checking them out, because they are old and you never know when they could collapse. After about a mile and a quarter, you kind of start to pop out of the trees, and it's insane the views that you're going to see when you pop out of those trees. If you actually want to skip the first mile of this hike and drive, you can if you've got a four-wheel drive vehicle. I actually saw some vehicles parked right near this gate area, which takes you to the Boston Mine Camp. If you stay to the right instead of turning left by this gate area, you'll actually stay on the main trail. But I decided to check out the Boston Mine Camp area first, at least a little bit of it. I didn't hike all the way up at first. I just wanted to take some really cool video and take in the breathtaking views when nobody else was around. Because it was early enough, there was nobody on the trail. I maybe came across one other person and only one person in the parking lot when I arrived. So I made it to one of my absolutely favorite spots of this hike, and that is this window view through this old, like, I don't know, it's an old building from mining or something, but it's one of my absolute favorite parts of this hike. It's so beautiful. You have a window's eye view to the mountains, the beautiful landscape. I can't get enough of it. It's truly breathtaking, and I could just live right here forever. After taking in the really picturesque, beautiful views of the Boston Mine Camp, I decided to go back to the main trail and start climbing up, and boy, does it start climbing. It definitely gets steeper. You're gonna wanna take your time, watch out for some slippery rocks, but man, you hit tree line and it's insane the views you get to see. The higher up on the trail you go, the more it starts to wind, which is actually kind of nice because it's better than going up a vertical incline and feeling like you're gonna die. Well, you don't really feel like you're gonna die, but your calves definitely do. These are what I call calf burners, but they're definitely worth it. It might be July, but this is Colorado after all, and it's not unusual to come across a little bit of snow on the trail. Just use your head, pay attention, watch your steps, take your time, and you'll get across it. Just be really careful. Don't forget to stop and smell the roses. Haven't you ever heard that saying? Well, in this case, don't forget to stop and take in the beautiful, breathtaking mountain views, because it really is a 360 experience when you're at Mayflower Gulch. It's absolutely insanely beautiful everywhere you look on this hike. I love it. Well, I'm about 3.5 miles into my hike and it is absolutely breathtaking. I'm in heaven right now. This is heaven and I love it. I kind of climbed up and climbed around some areas, then I lost the trail for a minute. And so yeah, there's that. I actually kind of descended down a little bit so I could record this because the wind was so crazy up a little bit higher. If you guys can see that. The wind was a little bit crazy up there. So now I'm back down here and it's beautiful and it's pretty much time for a snack, and then maybe I'm gonna descend back down and kind of check out some of the little mine shafts that are over there. So I'm excited. This is so much fun and it is such a beautiful day. After a snack and a little water break, I decided to climb back down so that I could hike back up to the Boston Mine area. I came across such a variety of wildflowers on this part of the hike, and honestly, throughout the entire hike there were so many wildflowers. They're so beautiful. I don't really know the different types of wildflowers or anything like that, and I'm not good at identifying them, but I did meet a ranger along the way that told me about this cool app called Seek, where you can use it and just hold it up and it'll tell you what kind of plant or flower you're looking at. So if you're interested in that, check it out. As I got closer to the mine site area, the climb definitely got a lot steeper, and I noticed I was getting a little breathy along the way, taking my time a little bit more, but honestly, it did not suck because I got to look out at the insane mountain views again, and they're so beautiful. Much rockier in this area, so be sure to wear the right kind of shoes. It is the Rocky Mountains after all. When I finally got to the top, I came across this mine, which was really, really cool. I didn't go inside the mine, but I got pretty close to it, peeked inside. Obviously, you don't really want to go inside of this because you never know when something might collapse, and that is pretty dangerous, so avoid that. But man, it was so cool to check this out and look at all the history around it. I really want to do some researching into the history of this mine because it's really cool. After checking out the mine area, taking in some of those amazing mountain views, and talking with some really awesome people, it was time to climb back down. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention while I was on this hike is you really don't have cell phone service in this area, so if you're gonna hike alone, be sure to use some sort of tracking device so people can keep track of you, or get a Garmin inReach so if anything happens, you're protected. Remember how I said the parking lot was completely empty, or maybe there was just one car when I arrived? When I was leaving, which was probably around, I don't know, I want to say maybe 11 a.m., the parking lot was completely full. I mean, absolutely packed. All right, well, I made it back to the car and I did over 8 miles and over 21,000 steps so far. Not so far to end this thing. So it was a great hike. It was a beautiful hike. Seriously, so beautiful. I did two different ascents on the hike, one up to like the mountain peaks and then the other one up to the mines. So it was super beautiful, like breathtakingly beautiful, and the wildflowers were amazing. Now it's time to go home and shower because I stink, and then eat some food because I am starving. But that's all I got for you. It was a great hike. I would highly recommend it if you ever come to Colorado or you live in Colorado. Mayflower Gulch is freaking awesome.